The carry will be alright. It's just
Yeah.
it's the total distance. It's just the swings there.
Slightly early release, which is where I can feel like that one particular. I felt like I extended too early, which like created lag and then an early release. And I sense that that one would be like that high right short one, which has always been my Achilles heel when I'm inside 100 yards. Seems to be alright from inside 50, but between 50 and 100, I always struggle to gauge it.
Through impact,
Yeah.
just show me in your mind, slow-mo,
Yeah.
what you sensed happened then. Okay.
And then that's for me micro sensing the need to then square up. But then it's kind of too late, ball's gone, and then I react.
So where would you want to be? Show me where you want to be. That shot. What do you sense
That I've shifted towards the target more than I was
with
prior.
what part of the pelvis?
Yeah, pelvis and torso
So
rotation.
Yeah. Torso and yeah. So think of this as the body. Are we doing this or this? Yeah. If you want to do this, so you talked about pelvis being level. If that's your pelvis, yeah, and you're sensing some of this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So there's lateral going on there because I've got to move the bottom of the seat to do this, to tip this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if I want to rotate that, I don't want any movement of this, as in laterally, but I do need rotational force. Okay. So how do I rotate this? Okay. Effectively, well, if I don't use the ground, I'm going to get counter forces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to push.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I push, I've got to be able to stop, to be able to control it. Otherwise, I push, everything's moving, and it's very difficult to control.
Yeah.
So I need to brake to then allow the end of the chain to just accelerate. So I need to push, but then stop, and then allow that to go. Otherwise, that's going to play havoc with the pelvis.
Yeah.
And then obviously, this is what you were just demonstrating then, was essentially that.
Yeah.
Basically shifting pressure by moving mass there,
Yeah.
displacing this mass to move the pressure, as opposed to using pressure
Yeah.
to now rotate the mass. So
Yeah.
instead of trying to create momentum by using this more linear component, we want to create momentum more angularly, which means we rotate. So we can get a lot of momentum. We want momentum that way, not that way. When you get to the shorter clubs, we don't want to be really interfering with that low point too much.
Yeah.
And this is that's going to throw the low point out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big time. To create rotation from the ground, we're using force in this direction.
Yeah.
We're not trying to twist to create that rotation. Use the front and back heel to toe motion to tip the board. But let your pelvis rotate. So rotate your hips, there we go, that's it. But much more subtle than that. So we don't really want to tip. As soon as you feel the board tip, you go back again. So you're literally just tipping it over its fulcrum, just back and forth really. So you don't even allow this to hit the floor.
Okay, all right.
Both sides, that's it. But full rotation of the pelvis, there we go. So you're controlling that pressure shift, it's just between the feet.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way from heel to toe. We're not trying to create massive torques. It's just, yeah, less than that. Let the hips rotate, let the pelvis rotate more. Yeah, good. You feel that?
Yeah.
Feel a bit different.
Yeah. Close.
Now on the way back, we've got to make sure we torque the ground.
That was better. Put up 9, 7, 5.
So you might, so potentially you've
Flight.
been doing that on the way back too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not getting the torque through the ground. You're not going as far to use that.
Right.
Okay, but you are creating torque. So now it's got to be a much more subtle, a bit more kind of dynamic, sharper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't take a step obviously, but yeah. So you're not going back onto your heels and toes, you're using more through the middle of the feet. That's it. Because like anything, it's exactly because it's pitch. But you can still be more explosive, but you don't increase that pressure, the length of the pressure trace. You just speed up between how you're moving back and forth. Your forefoot there, your toes, back of your heel are off the ground and not going to touch the ground.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's different, right?
Yeah.
Strike was better, wasn't it?
Effortless from another 10 yards, that.
Yeah.
Similar to the Cincinnati.
Club's working though, yeah.
So often, that's good.
Yeah.
So often you can talk about using right arm drills, but I think for you, the left hand. So it's just as an exploration, because it's okay doing this, but you can really kind of easily manage the
A couple of
face.
those early release ones were a bit.
Whereas with the left, it's different now. So because you're going to really get a sense of when this goes from flexion into extension, and when you time it, but you're not doing it, obviously with this part, you're doing it through your body. How it reacts. So look, it's there. It's not, you're not going to be seeing any of this business with the club face.
Yeah.
Put your faith in there.
First one was good.
Yeah.
Second one was it.
As soon as your sequence goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a different kind of feedback, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Doesn't take any prisoners, this one.
No, that's, you see how that's popped up high and right.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
that's,
they didn't.
yeah. The first one was like,
Clever
Yeah,
editing.
it was. He actually just stopped then.
So take the step and then time, so you get a timing. I mean, I like the fact you took a step back. Just take a step. Just you step forward there.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It's good to do that. That is a drill, but I'd rather you just do the step forward first.
That's hardest to do.
You can see why you're playing well though, your perception is better than what you're thinking internally, isn't it?
Yeah,
It almost now feels like it's not going anywhere. Then I'm not having to rely on hitting up, really.
taking all this noise out.
Even at the best level, you still almost, you can fall into that trap of hitting up and you do it because it's just, you kind of know what you're doing, but not. That was ripped, about
No,
110.
that's just a different noise.
About
Finish
110,
was good,
112. Yeah, the groove thing, but still decent.
114.
Because that doesn't really, it feels like my body's speeding up, but my club head isn't. That's what it feels like. But yeah, it's producing a lot.
Well, what you're probably doing is, to keep your grip for me, is you're reducing the amount of that.
Right.
So if you keep your grip pressure, that, like, let me rotate your wrist, that adds speed. Do your left hand drill again. Step, yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Now from there, without hitting the ball, just swing back and through that same place. You feel the journey.
I'm going to recognise that place.
It feels like I've got more control over like this.
Yeah.
As it rotates, it's still lagging, but then releases when it's obviously later.
So a great drill for you.
Feels lower.
A great drill for you would be to do this off a high T-peg,
Alright, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the ball's got to start right at target. Now because it's teed up, you swing, this is what is going to have to accentuate the later flexion to extension, because it's teed up, that sweet spot's pointing way left.
Yeah.
So how do you get that to go right? Well, you're not going to be doing this, hopefully. You're going to be doing this way. You're just going to be in flexion for longer. And how can you be in flexion for longer? Well, you've got to sequence and then release this later. This is the challenge, which produces all those qualities, those characteristics, those qualities we're looking for. Nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, previously, these would be like, you'd be manufacturing it somehow, there'd be tension, there'd be tension at the end of your swing, whereas you're soft, you're all, there's no tension because you've sequenced, or early releasing, it's going left. There's so much more flow to that.
Yeah.
I think if you work on that, that lower shot will become your favourite shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that left where probably 2 years ago, if you said where the hell's that going, I'd go straight left, and then you look up and it's kind of maybe gone half a yard left.
Holding on.
Yeah.
Holding its line.
Yeah.
Just look, they've all been about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Two-
holding its line.
2.1 left. I mean, things like this can help just to give you just a visual
Oh,
of
this
it
one,
with
yeah.
both hands. You can look at that. You can start to see the timing. Also, just easy exercise, not clipping balls off or anything, just swinging and just keeping them in sync. But the release of it and how that's getting released and which direction. So I'm going left there, but the clubs are going out to the right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good, mate.
Cheers.
Well played, mate.
Cheers.
Awesome, well played. Awesome.
Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Brilliant. Awesome.